So, welcome to the inside of Mercedes 300D GLE. I'm filming inside as I usually do, but today it's actually lashing rain outside. So I'm going to give you the tour from my perspective, which is the driver's perspective. Most people are going to be using it like this, I think. So basically, just a few stats on the this particular GLE. It is a 300D, but it's a 2-litre engine. It is €570 to tax. It is diesel. It does 0 to 60 in 7.2 seconds, which is quite impressive for a car of this size. You've got a couple of driving modes as standard on all of the GLEs. You have Eco, Comfort, Sport, and then you've got like 4-wheel drive. It's an extremely comfortable environment to spend time in. I absolutely loved every challenge that was thrown at it in an urban and extra urban environment. I've had it on the motorway, I've had it on the city streets, and while you do feel like you are quite big in the city streets, you do tend to take things a little bit easier. You're a lot more careful when you're going past parked traffic, parked cars, and if there's a lot of the traffic around. You don't take your narrow side street shortcuts as much when you're in this car, but when you are in heavy traffic, it's a really comfortable place to spend time, and you're not really that bothered, to be honest. I was stuck on the M50, and I was just so happy in my environment. Luckily I wasn't late, but I was so happy in this environment, in this cabin environment, that it really just didn't bother me at all. It is that type of car. It has that type of atmosphere and character about it that you just really enjoy being in the space, that it doesn't really matter what's going on around outside of the vehicle at all. It's just so pleasant to be in this car. Now obviously you are paying for the experience, but there are some cars that can come across a little bit of a cold, technical, surgical environments. The Merc does not embody this at all. It absolutely 100% is a beautiful place to spend time, and in fact the rear bench here is so big that you could easily just pull off the motorway, stop off and do some work from the rear bench, and you'd be quite happy just to sit there, let all the other cars get on with their day, traffic, whatever, as you enjoy this really comfortable, cozy, functional environment. A couple of things then I want to show you in this wonderful environment. For a start, this obviously is your steering wheel, really nice textures. You've got these standard systems that you're using to control the MBUX system, and it's I'm getting more and more used to it the more I use it. You've got these little haptic touch buttons on either side of the steering wheel as well, which are very good. You've got heated seats as well. Unfortunately they don't have the option to save for your main driver and then any other drivers you have, but at the moment you can move around and you can adjust the heated seats. You also have an option to adjust the temperature of the seats. So here we have the seat adjust, where you can change the balance and what gets heated where, as you can see on that screen. It's a really cool way of adjusting the temperature and comfort within the cabin. Again, this is such a plush cabin. It's a great place to spend time in. They've really made a great job of it, and this is quite well spec'd. It starts at around €78,000, representing the MBUX system. Excellent. You can change the visuals to whatever you feel works for you best. It's really fantastic. That one's my favorite, but you flick through using this haptic touch button on the steering wheel, and it gives you all sorts of details if you prefer using your media, or if you prefer getting all the different types of styles of the dash. This is my favorite because you get the most amount of information of it. You get your consumption, driving average, remaining fuel range, your distance, your eco displays. I just love that kind of feedback. Now I know we have to rely on the software, that the software is telling us the truth about these things, but I just really enjoy getting all of that detail. Thing I have to turn off at the start of every single journey, and it's quite frustrating. There's an example of me driving where the lane assist kicked in, on a narrow country road, and I just find it quite dangerous, to be honest. It's one of the worst parts of every single vehicle out there. I had a couple of different settings down here where you can change the dynamic settings for your driving comfort. You can set it up to your, if you want, individual needs, where you've got like comfort. They're all set to comfort at the moment, but you can have it in sport. Basically what sport does is tightens up the throttle response, but I found it to just make the engine, I just don't like the engine note that comes out of it. You don't really notice it's a diesel too much, except for when you start it up and you're driving along in comfort and eco, it's fine. But when you put it into sport, it has this awful growl, and if you're going past cyclists, they think that you're revving the engine at them when you're really not. But apart from that, all of the other driving modes work very, very well. You've got eco, and here also as well you've got off-road. You can see how it all changes as you go through the menus. You've also got these parking assist cameras, so you can see it's a very good quality HD camera out the back there. You can change the settings of it, and yeah, what else have we got on board here? Go into your vehicle settings, tires, belt adjustment, lights, exterior light systems. There's just a massive amount of, you can get the apps as well, which, you know, you can basically have the Mercedes Me app on your phone and have access to a lot of content and information on your vehicle. Cancel.
What do you want to do?
Cancel. So that's the one thing about it when you're actually discussing the car with a passenger, which most people are fairly intrigued by it when they get in, that when you say the manufacturer's name, it unfortunately triggers it the same way Siri or Alexa triggers your phone. But that won't be a problem for too many people. We've got FM radio, AM radio, no DAB on this at the moment, unfortunately. I love the sat-nav. Look at this sat-nav. It's all in 3D, and you've got the lovely skies during the day. It's not quite replicating exactly what's going on outside at the moment, but and at night you've got the night sky, and you've got this lovely terrain here, as you can see on the dash, replicated of your surroundings. You've got your favorites, nav maps, you know, just quick access buttons, which are always good to have. You have your air conditioning, quick access here. You can get hey Mercedes, hey Mercedes,
how can I help you?
Raise the temperature to 22 degrees.
Temperature is 22 degrees.
That's pretty good. You can also get it to set sat-nav directions and cancel as well as you are going along too. Now, setting it, I think it'll take a little bit of getting used to, because it hasn't always worked for me. Trying to set a destination, that should have been reasonably easy to get in within Dublin, but cancelling it works, which is always good. You've got a number of different themes on the dash top here. The exterior is gorgeous looking. They've got the proportions exactly right. You've got the lovely LED lights surrounding the diamond grille, which works really well, and then you've got this AMG front bumper, front grille, which is a really nice spec as well. You've got the 20-inch AMG alloys option on this. There's a few AMG bits and pieces, including the kick plates, and inside we've got chrome surround. So just here you've got the chrome surround, and it's also matching on the key, so that's actually a really nice key. Lovely slips into your pocket. The best part about it is this is where your key fits and not into the cup holders, which is where most manufacturers just leave you to place your belongings. You've also got the option of wireless charging. It's not optioned in this car at the moment, but that is a great place where you can put your phone. So just to show you, the cup holders are really cool. That's the widest setting, but you can also extend that to cover smaller items. So you've got these alloy kick plates, which are really cool as well. Chrome surround, chrome all around the air vents, all along here and to the side as well. I'm sure a lot of the manufacturers will start to change that to for an SUV of this size, you've got great visibility. Now I know you are up high, but even your peripheral vision is very, very good considering it's such a big vehicle, and I found it really easy to park. Even in the tightest of parking spaces, easily maneuvered it in and was able to get out without any kind of problem whatsoever. Did use the cameras now to back up against walls and stuff, absolutely fine. And if you're opening and closing the boot using the remote, it stops if it feels it's not going to make it without banging off the door. And you can also use the remote to pause it, so it just opens a little bit and then you can just hit it again and it'll close. Something that all Mercedes, let's just say, suffer from, in that you've got your phone charging for normal USB cables or your older USB cables. You need this adapter, and it's not really meant to sit here, so after a few years that's going to get damaged and you will need to replace this. You also have two USB-C ports just here, one for your mobile phone, one for charging, one for access to the sat-nav system. You also have your USB-C charging for your rear seat passengers, but loads of room, really comfortable, really very comfortable. This is a great place. So I've got the driver's seat set up as how I would sit. I've got loads of legroom here. So much space. I don't have a tray table or anything like that to work on with a laptop, but you can just easily sit it here on your knees. Definitely room for 3 passengers, 2 in comfort, and then you can also option a rear bench to go in the back of this to make it a 7-seater. Love this rear bench, loads of space. And you also don't lose any space in the boot because it's quite big as well. You've got this tonneau cover. Yeah, this is the exterior view of Mercedes GLE. This is the 300D. As I said, it's a 2-litre engine. It's €570 to tax, and it's extremely handsome with the AMG line trim. So it's got this AMG bumper. It's got AMG alloys as well. Okay, I'll show you around this side. Got these lovely AMG alloys, amazing LED lights. They did this great light show at night when they start up. They go like do this match show. It's brilliant. It's really good. I love how that bonnet looks. It's nice and aggressive, but yet it's, you know, demeanour is quite staid. Yeah, and you've got these optional roof bars as well on the exterior, and then the back. So you've got this nice aerodynamic, straight kind of flat down back. You've got all the lines in all the right places as well. You've got your 4MATIC system here and your spec here. You've got your 300D and nice exhaust vents too. But it just looks really well. I think it looks fantastic. It looks great. They've done a brilliant job with the design on all of the angles. It's big though. It is big. When you're standing beside it, I can make anything look small. But I really love how this entire car looks from start to finish. Side angles, front angles, all the rear quarters. They've done such a good job that that commands some sort of recognition, because really at the moment there's a couple of really good manufacturers, a couple of its competitions. Some of the competitors are having difficulty in getting some of the design right. The actual dimensions don't quite fit with the rest of the car. They're a little bit off, but Merc have managed to get this completely and utterly on point. I love it to bits. It is expensive though for what you get. You know what you're going to be paying for Mercedes, but it's a lovely car to drive, lovely car to spend time in, and a very nice car to look at as well. Mercedes have come on in leaps and bounds ever since the days of the old ML. I parked up against a 2008 version just to see the change in dimensions, and it has really grown in that space of time. The design has improved as well. It's a fantastic looking car. Mercedes are going strength to strength with their technology, onboard technology as well, that MBUX system. While it might be difficult to say, it's a brilliant system. It's well executed. You can use it from the steering wheel, you can use it from the haptic feedback touch, and it's also touchscreen as well. So it really is giving Audi a run for their money with their virtual cockpit, which is very expensive to spec as well. But the technology packs on board, the Mercedes is giving them a run for their money, I have to say. But overall, excellent car. Its competitors are going to be the Touareg, the X5. You've also got the Audi Q7, and I think they're pretty much the top of the range competitors for the Mercedes GLE. So the only thing that would bring it down for me is the driving dynamics. Everything else I love to bits. The diesel engine, while I normally don't prefer a diesel engine, this one runs silently and it doesn't hold it back. But for me, the driving dynamics, even though it does have a dynamic switch, it's not quite the same. It doesn't have that really sporty feel. Basically, this car wants to get you there nice and relaxed and for you to enjoy every minute that you're spending in the cabin. It doesn't want you to feel uptight. It doesn't want to feel like you're in a race or anything along those lines whatsoever. It's just a really comfortable car to drive. I hope you've enjoyed my tour of this Mercedes GLE. If you have any questions about the car, get in touch below. I will do my best to try and find some information for you.